Hello. Welcome to another edition of Capper Comparison Picks. I'm Ranch. Today I'll be giving you the early prelim picks, Capper Comparison Picks for the early prelim fights for UFC Vegas 31. But before I get into that, I want to go over my results of UFC 264. It was a pretty good card. I fared fairly well. Let me explain. I'm not going to take too much time into this, but I will go through it nonetheless. Okay, Yao Zhang Hu, that got canceled because Amadovsky, COVID. I got Zhalgas Zhumagulov. He beat Jerome Rivera, submission first round. Green, picked that correctly. Unfortunately, I had Omar Akhmadov. That was my first loss. He lost by decision to Brad Tavares. Then, all green. You know what I mean? That's right. Check it out. All green. All green. That's right. We've got Jennifer Maia beat Jessica I by decision. Nailed it. Ilya Tupuria beat Ryan Hall. Round 1 KO. Nailed it. And Dricus Duplessis TKO ground and pound round 2 over Trevin Giles. Nailed it. I nailed the parlay. It paid out very well. That 3-fight parlay. Like I said, I parlay all these videos after I do them. Then next, I didn't do so hot. Because next I picked Nico Price. He lost the decision against Michel Pereira. Then I picked Carlos Condit. He lost it by decision to Max Griffin. And finally, I am a new fan of Chris Moutinho, because even though I did pick Sean O'Malley and he got the knockout, I bet the over 1.5 rounds, and thank God that Chris Moutinho, thank God he can take a licking and keep bound ticking. That dude, if it wasn't for Herb Dean 30 seconds, it's aggravating, but he would have lost decision anyway. But Herb, it's 30 seconds. Just let the kid say he lasted. Let it go to decision. It is what it is. But thank you, Chris Moutinho. He is soulless. That is his nickname. Soulless Chris. I now follow him on Instagram. But yeah, Chris, I'm a big fan now. Chris Moutinho. It was like watching Rocky 1 in real life. For real. It's like it was awesome. But anyway, I won big money because I had faith that kid from Massachusetts was going to last over a round and a half, and he sure did. He lasted over 2.5. So anyway, I lost that show card, 1 and 2 on that page, but I did win money because of the hedge bet on taking the over. And then I had Yana Kunitskaya. I flipped my pick. Unfortunately, I took the L there. And then Tai Tuivasa, it's kind of, I picked him, flipped my pick on the show, and took Greg Hardy when I was on the show with Because Dave on the post weigh-in show. But then I never changed it, or I did change it on Tapology too. Anyway, I never changed it in my parlay on BetOnline. So I lost that parlay, but I had another parlay that I made earlier, because I make parlays throughout the week. But anyway, Tai Tuivasa won, knockout, first round. It was, and Greg Hardy rocked him too, but I was kind of low-key rooting for Tai Tuivasa, and he won. But so it was mixed, because I did win a couple parlays that he was on that I had placed before I flipped my pick. So anyway, whatever. Finally, all green on the co-main and main event. I was one of the only few that took Gilbert Burns. I took him by submission. He won by decision. Look at all those people taking Wonder Boy. All of them wrong. Yep, just me, Luke and Alex from Perfect Probably Pursuit, and Vlad were the only ones out of the week that I watched that took Gilbert Burns. Thank you, Dorinho, for cashing that in for me. And of course, Dustin Porter. You saw Diamond. You saw Connor with the broken leg. I think he ought to fight Chris Weidman next. I'm only kidding. They're different weight classes, but man, it was like the leg thing creeps me. Just the yeah. Anyway, yeah. So that I went. Actually, that should be 7-5 because of the Tai Tuivasa thing. But that night I wrote it as a win. So 8-4, 7-5. It doesn't matter. I came out in the green, if you know what I mean, plus money. I came out plus money on top of that. So let's move on to UFC Vegas 31. This is this is not a great card. Very chalky. Look at all this. Chalk. I mean, everywhere you look, it's big, it's heavy chalk. But anyway, I'm gonna run through this fairly quickly too. You know, I have other things to do. But let's get into it. Okay. At heavyweight, we've got Rodrigo, Nascimento, Zay Cormea taking on Alain Baudot, the Black Samurai. Okay, Nascimento is the favorite here, minus 345. Ugh. Gross. It did, and it's even gotten deeper because money's been coming in on Nascimento. It's opened up at minus 335. It's gone up. Alain Baudot was a plus 255 opening line. Now he's at plus 285 for Alain Baudot, the Black Samurai. Rodrigo Nascimento, 8-1 as a professional. He fights out of American Top Team. He's got a 1-inch reach advantage, 1-inch height disadvantage, so pretty much fairly the same crap when it comes to that. He's coming off a loss to Chris Daukaus, TKO round 1. Before that, he has a win over Dontel Mays. Rodrigo Nascimento, you know, he's got the better ground game. Stand up. Some people say his stand up's better than Alain Baudot too. But let's talk a little bit, just a tad bit about Alain Baudot. Oh no, yeah, let's talk about Alain Baudot. Alain Baudot fighting out of the MMA Factory, that's in France. However, Fernand Lopez, the coach, will not be in his corner. I watched the interview with him and James Lynch. However, in the past, he used to be the training partner of Cyril Gane, but Cyril Gane has now been in America training. So Alain Baudot has been training with Christian Umpuba, who was a former Bellator champ back in 2012 maybe. I don't know, the guy's kind of old, he's like 40 something. But anyway, he's coming off a loss to Tom Aspinall. And it was a ground and pound, round 1. Not a good look, but man, I am high on Tom Aspinall. I think Tom Aspinall he's one of my favorite heavyweights. But the Black Samurai, 8-2. Thing is, just that plus 285 makes him very invitable. Let's see what these. The odds on the total are not out yet, so I couldn't list them. But let's see what these cappers have to say about this heavy favorite in Rodrigo Nascimento. James Lynch, who interviewed Alain Baudot, I told you, and Alain Baudot's English is not great, but it's still you can understand him. James Lynch said stay away from the fight, but his pick will be Nascimento. But he says betting wise, do not put this in a parlay. Vlad from UFC Celebrities and Classics. He's saying the fight does not go the distance, so he's saying the under. And he's taking Nascimento because Ranch from Capper says take a side, and he does. King of Crackdowns, KFC, he's saying Nascimento submission in the first round. Very good. I like the detail and the method and the round. Very good. Stat Diggers, that's DFS by the numbers. That's Brady and his Uncle Weezy. Brady and Uncle Weezy, they're both on Pub Sports Radio. And then he had a deep dive with Uncle Weezy on his own channel. But on Pub Sports Radio, the Stat Diggers, they're both leaning Nascimento. So we'll just write Pub Sports Radio, PSR. That's not Clint though. That's our DFS and Weezy. I'm not gonna write that every time, but DFS W is Weezy. Yeah, like WHEEZY. No, not enough room. Not enough room. I'd rather keep it neat. We'll just write DFS. You know what I'm talking about. Okay. Bert from Bert MMA. Bert is saying submission. Also for Nascimento. And AJ DeVito from MMA Experts. Also saying Nascimento by submission in the first. Not giving any respect to the Black Samurai. This is a full capper consensus. A full capper consensus is when
all the handicappers pick one team or one person.
Just say side. When all the handicappers pick the same side.
Same side.
And in this case, everybody is taking Rodrigo Nascimento to beat Alan Baudot, the Black Samurai. All right, that's enough. Thank you.
Thank you.
However, I'm going to be the contrarian here.
What's that?
Taking the opposite. I'm going to take. Yeah, I'm taking this side.
The one that looks like Brandon.
What?
That is a turn to N to be Brandon.
Well, that's your BAUDO. Just go in the other room. I'm taking Alan Baudot at that plus 285, the Black Samurai. I like that he's a former, he used to train with. Because that tape is coming off. See this?
Oh.
But anyway, Alan Baudot.
I don't feel the tape off.
I know Rodrigo Nascimento has a better ground game, but don't count on at plus 285. I don't care if I'm going against the full capper consensus or not. I'll stand on the edge by myself, just like I did pretty much with Gilbert Burns last week. I'm going to take Alan Baudot. I think he's going to do it by decision. And there you go. I am taking that contrarian pick. Nascimento should win, but that's I'm going to replace it after this video. So take it all off. There you go. There you go. Throw this all away. Thank you. So, moving on. Yeah, I'm not confident with this. Matter of fact, because I have to make a parlay, I will. Yeah. All right.
It's like a square ball.
My bad. All right, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna parlay, and on Tapology, I'm taking Rodrigo. I'm going with the capper consensus. I think he's gonna get it done. Probably by submission because Alan Baudot has no ground game. But I'm gonna hedge bet. If you guys don't know, thank you. A hedge bet is when
that looks like a money sign.
Somebody last week was like, because I said I'm taking Ilya Tupuria last week.
That looks like a money sign.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna do. I said I'm taking Ilia Topuria, but I'm making a hedge bet with Ryan Hall. And someone in the comments was like, so what's that mean? Bet Ryan Hall? No, that a hedge bet means you're going against your pick as a hedge, meaning just in case there's a slim chance your pick might not come through, and it's worth a sprinkle. A sprinkle means half a unit, not a quarter of a unit. I don't know what a unit is to you guys, but a unit is like, I think 2% of your.
Can I write your money?
Sure, you gotta put two stripes through it because I'm very abundant in the money. That's backwards. Yeah, your dyslexia is acting up. S is like that. Write an S, and then two lines through it. 1, 2. Good job, and then circle it. That's the symbol for hedge bet plus money. Plus money.
That's a lot of money.
It is. It is a plus money, plus 285 hedge bet because I think Baudot has a path to victory by striking, because he's coming from a striking school. Fernando Lopez is a great striking coach, and he's been training with a former Bellator champ, and before that he was training with Cyril Gahn. So,
Papa,
yeah.
Papa,
What?
that's the most money on the board.
That's the biggest plus number on the board. Yeah, that's why it's my hedge bet. Hedge bet. Hedge. Just like a hedge fund is like when you're doing stocks, you got all your money on your anchor stocks, on your big money stocks, like the secure one. But then the hedge fund is like your little sprinkle, your sprinkle stocks, your penny stocks. Just they might come up. That penny stock that you bought for 5 cents a share might bust out one day and make you rich. Just like this Alan Baudot might bust out on Saturday and make me paid off. Okay, moving on. But I'm not saying go ahead and put money on it. I'm just saying that's what I'm gonna do. I'm taking Nascimento in Tapology and in the parlay here, but I'm hedge bet Alan Baudot. Moving on. Next we've got Francisco Figueiredo. He is the younger brother to Davison Figueiredo. Davison Figueiredo's 33 and Francisco Figueiredo is 31. He's another pretty heavy favorite, minus 310, 3-1 favorite over Malcolm X Gordon. Malcolm X Gordon. Malcolm Gordon is a plus.
Sounds like Jordan.
Yeah, but it's not. Malcolm Gordon is plus 260 underdog. I'm not hedge betting him because he's got a soft chin for flyweight. At flyweight's 125 pounds. They're more volume punchers. It's hard. And he's been knocked out in the past 2. Well, he got knocked out most recently by Madarji Su in round 1. And before that, he lost by a triangle choke in round 1 to Amir Albazi. He was I'm already chatting about him. He was a TKO, that's, what's it called? TKO Major League champ. That's a promotion out of what? Out of,
You got a big nose.
Yep. Out of Quebec, right? Or Ontario, I'm sorry, Ontario, Canada. That's a promotion out of Ontario, Canada. Alan Baudot's been in there. So is Cyril Gahn. All those, it's a French-Canadian promotion, I'm assuming, because you got Baudot, Gahn. They were on the same card as Gordon, where he won the championship. However, man, he's coming off those back-to-back losses. He's got a 1-inch height and reach advantage over Francisco Figueiredo. He fights out of Adrenaline MMA, that is in Ontario, Canada. And Jesse Ronson is the most notable name, I think, fighting out of Adrenaline that I noticed. His opponent, the favorite, 3-1 favorite. Yeah, exactly. Francisco Figueiredo, the sniper, 12-3-1, but from what I heard, the cappers say, hard to find fights on him. He did get a unanimous decision win against Jerome Rivera, but how good is that when Jerome Rivera just got knocked out in the first round last week by Zhumagalov. So, yeah, so Francisco Figueiredo, that was his UFC debut. Before that, he was in the Jungle Fights. That's a promotion, regional promotion down in Brazil. He fights out of Team Figueiredo with just his brother and some other guy. There were the only 3 fighters listed. Yeah, I guess, well, he's kind of a mystery. Even though he's 12-3-1, his UFC debut is the only fight that you can find on, even if you have Fight Pass and all that. From what I heard, I don't know. But let's go with what these cappers have to say, starting with the favorite.
Who's the favorite?
The favorite is Francisco Figueiredo. Can you say Figueiredo?
Figueiredo.
Pretty good, not bad. Your Portuguese needs a little work. And so does your hair. Ugh.
Stop.
Okay, Francisco Figueiredo, 12-3-1. Taking Francisco. First of all, the stat diggers. That's a DFS by the numbers and Uncle Easy. They said they're passing on this. They said take the under. Take the violence bet on this. The over-under is not up here yet, so I don't know what it is. But
Papa, I'm making a money house.
But they're saying, so I'm just going to write Pub Sports Radio Pass, PSR, or a PSR under, only because the question marks around Figueiredo. They haven't seen much of him to make a good determination. Then we've got AJ DeVito, MMA Experts, is saying Figueiredo by knockout in the first round. Disrespect for Malcolm X Gordon. Burt MMA also taking Figueiredo. He's saying by decision though. There you go. But yeah, that Gordon though, I've heard from a lot of these cappers, if you're getting knocked out at 125 pounds by Madarji Sue in the first round, then you got a bad chin. So you got to keep that. I've heard a lot of people say he shouldn't be in the UFC because of his chin. I don't know.
His chin is bad?
But he did win the TKO Major League Champion. He was the Canadian regional scene. Yes, bad chin means you get knocked out easy. Because that's where you get hit and you're knocked out. Anyway, King of Crackdowns. Also taken Figueiredo by TKO in the second. Attaboy.
Do you have a bad chin?
What's that?
Do you have a bad chin?
No, I have a tough chin. I'm very durable. Very durable. I have no neck either, so you can't choke me either. And I have short T-Rex arms, so it's hard to get armbar on me too.
Yes.
I have double jointed ankles, so heel hooks, forget it. Knee bars.
You would be a good fighter.
I used to be a good fighter. Now I'm old. Vlad from UFC, Celebrities and Classics.
You're 47.
I know it. Also taken Figueiredo, and finally James Lynch. I'm not a predictor, James Lynch.
You're not old like our grandpa though.
Is saying by decision, but full disclosure, he is not a predictor. This is another full capper consensus. And everybody is taking the same side. Everybody's taking Francisco Figueiredo because he's the brother of Davison. Go pick that up. To beat Malcolm X Soft Chin Gordon. I too am gonna go with the majority, or with the capper consensus, And I'm taking Francisco, even though I don't know. I know I'm going off his brother's laurels, and he doesn't really have much.
Papa,
But
I'm making a money house.
everybody's going with it. It's not worth the minus 310.
I'm making a money house.
Wow.
It's a house made out of money.
So I'm gonna say first. I like this one. Second round. I'm gonna say second round. Second round KO. That should put that to a plus number because you're getting the round and the method. It should make it a plus number. Calling the round. That's why. Finally, moving on to this chalky prelim card. Next, we've got Anderson dos Santos, 21-8. This one's not as chalky. He's the underdog at plus 145, taking on Miles Johns, 11-1. His only loss coming to Mario Bautista via ground and pound though. Round 2, I think he got caught with a flying knee, and then it went to ground and pound. I'm pretty sure. Miles Johns, 11-1. That line did move. It was minus 190. That means, and now it's minus 170. So I guess that, but this has not moved. So I would assume a little bit of money's been coming in on Dos Santos to make Miles Johns' number drop, or just Bet Online just wanted to give better odds. I don't know. But, okay, let's talk about Miles Johns first. Miles John Chapo, he's coming off a win against Kevin Natividad, TKO round 3. He's got a 2-inch height advantage, fighting out of Fortis MMA in Dallas, Texas. A lot of activity, or a lot of guys his weight class out of Fortis that I'm not sure if he's training with him, but he could be. Diego Ferreira, he's getting ready for a fight against Grant Dawson. That's going to be great in October. Damon Jackson, Steven Peterson, they're both featherweights, but this is a bantamweight fight. So you got to imagine they're training together. Austin Lingo out of Fortis MMA. He's getting ready for a fight against Luis Saldana August 21st. He is another featherweight. So you got to consider that they all probably train. I know a lot of these places. I know when I used to train, you would train with your same weight class. You're not going to, if you're a bantamweight, you're not going to go up and take on light heavyweight 205 or nothing. You're going to stay within your weight, just so you can get ready for a realistic fight. I mean, you can, if you want some strength training, conditioning, you can go up and take on a heavyweighter, whatever you want to test yourself, whatever. And if you want to go for a little speed, faster guys, drop down to flyweight and take on a couple, but usually the small guys train with the small guys. The medium guys train with the medium guys, and the big guys train with the big guys. That just makes sense, right? Miles Johns, also a high school wrestling champ, state wrestling champ, Kansas State wrestling champ. He went and I read a little bio. He went to college on a wrestling scholarship. However, he got injured, therefore could not complete the season. And when he was recovering from his injury, a buddy said, "Hey, you want to take an amateur MMA fight?" And he said, "Sure." And he came out and he fell in love with it. There you go. That's why Miles Johns is now in the UFC. That was the start. Okay, he does have a 2-inch height advantage over Dos Santos, and he's got 87% takedown defense. That's that high school wrestling, man. You can learn how to. I guarantee he knows how to sprawl. Okay, let's talk about the underdog, Anderson dos Santos Barriga. Barriga is coming off a win against Martin Day by guillotine, round 1. A lot of people are questionable. Martin Day, should he even be in the UFC? I don't know. Even though he's got the 2-inch height disadvantage, he does have a 2-inch reach advantage. So that's only 1 inch on each hand. You know what I mean? He fights out of, he's got Babuino Gold Team, that's in Brazil with you know, but I think mostly it's Team Oyama. Team Oyama is out of Irvine, California. They have some people his same weight class. Listen to this. Marlon Chito Vera fights out of Team Oyama. Luis Smoka, who staph infection, but he fights out of Team Oyama, and he was supposed to take on Sugar Shane or Sugar Sean O'Malley, but I think Chris Moutinho filled that gap. And Alex Perez fights out of Team Oyama, and he's getting ready for a fight against Askar Askarov July 31st. So a few good training partners at Team Oyama for Anderson Dos Santos ADS Barinya. Okay, let's see what these cappers have to say. Winston, you're right in the way. Thank you. All right, we're gonna start with the favorite.
We need more cappers.
There's some in the mud room. We need Miles Johns. We've got AJ DeVito, MMA experts. He is saying by decision for Miles Chapo Johns. Then we've got Vlad from UFC Celebrities and Classics. One of my good friends, Vlad. I will call him a good friend. James Lynch. Lynch is saying by decision for Miles Johns. I'm not sure, but he probably interviewed him. He interviews everybody. He does like 30 interviews a month or something. Something crazy, like an interview a day. I don't know. King of Crackdowns, KFC. He's saying Johns by decision. I'm seeing a trend here, guys. Decision. And let's see. Pub Sports Radio, the Stat Diggers, both of them. Stat Diggers, that's DFS and Uncle Easy. And finally, to cap it all off, Bert is also taking a decision right there. He says right there. Too much, Bert. You say it too much. Right, and I got Miles Johns right there. That's how he says it. Right there. In this fight, I got Miles Johns right there. To win this fight by decision right there. And I also, too, am taking Miles Johns right there because of his high school wrestling accolades and the full Capper consensus. He's only got that one loss. That was to Mara. 3 of them. 3. 3. Capper. Full. Capper. Consensus. Yeah, because it's all chalk. Meaning they're big favorites. Big favorite. Medium favorite. It was a 2-1 favorite, now it's a minus 170. So very close. I guess I'm gonna have to take them by decision to finish or to beat Anderson Dos Santos. I think he's gonna use his wrestling and control time, and he's not bad at striking either. But I don't think Dos Santos really has anywhere, except for he's got the more experience, 21-8, 11-1, but it's still not going to be enough to beat Miles Johns. I'm high on Miles Johns. I'm high on high school wrestling, state wrestling champs. Yeah, I'm sold on that shit. But anyway, so to recap. No? Time check. To recap, I've got Rodrigo Nascimento submitting Alan Baudot, but I'm hedge betting Alan Baudot at plus 285. I think he might be able to sneak in that victory. I'll be rooting for him. However, for Tapology and for this, I will put the parlay with Nascimento, and he will probably be my pick in Tapology. I don't know. Maybe we'll look at the weigh-ins and change that again. I don't know. But I do know I'm taking Francisco Figueiredo by second round TKO KO over Malcolm Gordon and his soft chin. Even though I liked the Canadian regional scene, and he was a champ up there. But yeah, I'm gonna take Davidson's younger brother to get the victory over Malcolm Gordon, who I don't know if Malcolm Gordon's even cut out for the UFC. I think he just sticks to the regional thing. And finally, I'm taking Miles Johns. I'm confident in this one. Over Anderson Dos Santos by decision. So to gather the info, place those bets, cash those tickets. I appreciate you watching. Please give me that like. Be sure to subscribe, share with your friends, comment down below, especially if you're a contrarian picker. If you have any reason to take any of these underdogs in this, please list it down below. I love underdog picks. Unfortunately, I don't have any here except for kind of a hedge bet on Baudot, but yeah. Good luck on these bets. I'm sorry they're so chalky. There's nothing I can do. 3 full capper consensuses. What are you going to do? But good luck on these bets, and I'll see you next episode.